If you're looking for some sheer fabric that's easier to work with, go for organza. This is still so fine, yet it's got this stiffness to it which allows you to work with it really nicely. Welcome to today's video. Today I'd like to talk about different types of fabric and what fabric to use where. There's no hard and fast rule, but sometimes some fabrics are best used in a certain way. I'd like to start off by saying if you're new to sewing, just start, and then as you get better you can be more specific about what you want to do. But to start with, don't worry about what types of thread or your fabric, as long as it's generally non-stretchy, but it needs to be non-stretchy. Just go. I'm going to start with the good old cotton. Just really nice, easy to use and really comfortable. The good thing about cotton is that it's nice and stiff, it stays where you put it, it's not too thin that it will be flimsy and flying around. So when you're starting out, this is a nice one to start with. A variation of cotton, this one's a crinkle, so it's just got a nice kind of pleat in it. I'm thinking of making a gypsy skirt out of this one. So again, cotton, really nice, easy to use, but with the texture, it just gives it a different look. Also, look out for digital prints. This one's on cotton and I really love it because the design just says it all. You don't need to do too much with it, just a nice simple cut, top, blouse, kameez, whatever you want to make out of this will look stunning. Really lovely fabric, cotton, lovely against your skin, so comfortable. So if you are sensitive, cotton's the one to go for, but look for the variations of it. Again, another digital print, but this time this is in viscose polyester. It's really nice, fun Maharaja print in a really nice colour, so, well, loads of colours. So you can make anything you want out of this. Like, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this. I did buy it with the intention of making curtains, but the width didn't turn out to be wide enough, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. This is a thinner and flimsier fabric, so this one just a little bit more tricky than cotton. As you get better with your sewing abilities, it's a nice one to work with. Now what I have here is a 4-way stretch. So this is very good for making leggings, anything tight that you want a really nice tight fit on. And if you're not using a zip, because sometimes it can be really tricky to get the elasticity correct without the zip getting bends in it. So this is good for leggings and some comfort fits. Now the only no-no I have about any of these fabrics is using stretch fabric as a skirt. So any type of lenga, the bottom of an Anarkali, so where it flows. Reason why is when you walk it kind of bounces, and that really annoys me. It's not very comfortable if you're dancing as well. So if that doesn't bother you, then that should be fine. You can get a nice good fit around the waist, but watch out because it does kind of have this bounce to it because of the elasticity. Another fabric I really love is imitation silk. It gives you the richness of the colour at a fraction of the cost, because real silk nowadays is so expensive, and when you need yards and yards of it, it just makes it really pricey to make it yourself. This imitation silk here is really nice and thin, the weight and everything looks so genuine. So I've managed to make a full flare lenga out of this, knowing that it's not going to cost me too much, and it just looks fantastic. It's halfway almost made, but you can see the flare on that is gorgeous. For the purpose of suits, I really love brocade. Again, it's nice and stiff, it stays where you put it. You'd only want certain types of suits out of brocade. It's quite heavy. You may not want it if you want a floaty summery outfit, but it does really well when you want a rich colour. Usually the threads are really fine and they pick up colour really well. So this is good for that. I'm actually going to be using this as a salwar, so watch out for that tutorial. It's a little bit unconventional to have brocade salwars, but it's an idea that I've got for my sister, and I just want to make her a really nice, stiff, but easy to manage patiala salwar. This foil is just a very nice gold metallic foil, really simple, But when you pair this with something like this, you can get a really nice effect. You can bring out the gold in it, and it's not a heavy gold, it's really matte and dark. So what I have in mind for this one, I'd like to make an Anarkali outfit using Kaliyan, and this will be for the upper part of my body, and I'm hoping that will look really good together. So again, stay tuned for that tutorial, it'll be coming soon. Okay, so this is a really lovely net. What I like about it is there's a sheer. I usually make mine Chunni out of net, just so that it gives you that nice feminine feel to it. This one's already got gems attached to it now. This fabric kind of came out about 3 years ago, and you could pick this up for £1 a metre. More recently, you just can't find it. It's really hard to come by with the gems like this done really nicely. But you could also use this if you want to soften an outfit, and say if you have some print and you just want to throw it over just so that you can see through it, but it softens a pattern quite nice. This is lovely. When I go to India, I get spoilt for choice. You can find fabric that's already embroidered for you, and you can use that as little features on cuffs, necks, the upper part of an outfit, or a total blouse. So this one's got pearls and diamantes on it. It's really sweet. I haven't used it yet. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'm sure this is going to be used at some point. Very similarly, I've got this embroidery fabric here. It's got a really nice rose petal in pink and peach, and some rosy colour embroidery on that. This fabric is just a very simple viscose. I'm using it for lining. Some people use this for Punjabi and salwar as well, because it's strong enough, it looks nice, it's got a lovely sheen to it, but it's just very simple viscose fabric. Again, a really nice sparkle bit of embroidered material. I bought this in London, and I'm going to be making a top out of it, a very simple blouse that can be tucked into. It's going to be sleeveless with no zip, so it's going to be really easy. So if you've never made a top before and you want to go for something simple, start with something like this. You don't have to choose such flashy fabric like I have. You can go for cotton, but give that tutorial a go, because it's a nice basic blouse. If you've never sewn anything, that's where you should start. So this is really nice, really colourful turquoise imitation silk. I couldn't tell you what this is. I think this is called, I'm not sure of the exact name of this fabric, but it's like a viscose, an imitation silk. And this beautiful feather design here is really nice and colourful. I might make a pair of harems out of this. So another type of chiffon, this time a crinkle chiffon. Hope you can see that. It's actually got embroidery on it as well, so it's a bit of a double whammy. Now, the good thing about this fabric is it's like a semi-pure chiffon, and it takes dye really well. So you can make these any colour you want, and the embroidered bits will stay the metallic that they are. Now, the next few fabrics are actually already made up into garments, but what I want you to see here is another chiffon, but this is actually pure chiffon. So these are really lightweight, really flowy. Again, this one's actually been lined, so that's why it looks like it's thicker here. This is actually an outfit that I had made for me, so what I had done was just the silver edging on it, and it's a panelled Anarkali, and it's full sleeve, as you can see. So this fabric works really nice when you need any kind of movement like that, whether it be a Lenga, any type of skirt really. The Anarkali part, the bottom part of it flows really nice, and of course a sari looks beautiful in this. If you're looking for some sheer fabric that's easier to work with, go for organza. This is still so fine, yet it's got this stiffness to it which allows you to work with it really nicely. It won't just fall all over the place. You can pin it and it will stay more or less where you put it. This particular scarf has got a jute finish to it, so there's a nice fine thread work just on the ends of this. And again, you can colour these any colour you want. Some fabrics take certain colours better than others, so whether it's a pure organza or a semi-pure organza will have an impact on the kind of colour you get on your end result. This outfit has got two fabrics, so main being the velvet on the bodice and this kind of jute thread work on a type of tissue. So if I show you like this, you can see the transparency here, and you know, this, you're not going to believe, was only £2 a metre from a shop I really love in Southall. So I've actually got a video coming out of where to shop in Southall, and I've also made versions for East London, being Green Street and Ilford, coming soon. So I'll show you my favourite places where I go to pick up fabrics, and especially wanted to show you where you can go for high-end and cheaper stuff, so that by the end of it, if you've used a lot of the cheaper material and some high-end, the whole outfit looks really polished. Now, for example, this is just the simple velvet, which doesn't have a direction, so it's got a nice finish, and the trimming, and I think together all of that looks quite nice. Like when it's on, it gives it quite a lovely finish and it looks special. Yeah, it didn't cost me more than about £15. The next fabric I want to show you is interfacing. Usually this is used on business suits in the lapel, just to give it that stiffness. It comes in white, black, and you can also get it in charcoal. Now the good thing about these are it's glued on one side, so when you iron it down you can strengthen fabric onto it and then sew with it, and then it gives it a really nice finish. I'll show you the next outfit where I've actually used the interfacing. So here we've got some raw silk and some of this fabric, which is called chicken. It's like an embroidery done on chiffon, so this is actually pure. And when I first made it, I made it into a lenga. It was just the natural colour, which comes in cream, and then when I made it into an Anarkali, I had it dyed red. So that's the story behind that. But what I wanted to show you is I've used interfacing on this bodice part. It's actually in between the lining and the raw silk, and it just gives it that extra stiffness, which gives it a really nice finish. So when you're wearing it, it looks kind of really polished and stiff, rather than just a loose fit. Depends what you're going for, but for this particular outfit, that's what I wanted. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video about all the different fabrics there are, and obviously there are a variety more that I haven't managed to mention. But the few that I have, I hope this has helped you decide which fabric to use where, depending on the style that you want to achieve and the garment that you're making. And don't forget, if you're just starting out, just use the fabric you have, or the fabric that is most accessible to you. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and please share with your friends and family. I would really love to get more and more people sewing, so that we can revive the sewing tradition. If there's any videos that you would like to see, any tutorial requests, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear back from you. So until next time, Seam-Parle-Fly.